I'm sharing my screen. So last session we discussed about servlets in AEM, right? I can open Notepad. I give the summary of last session, what we discussed in the last session. Okay, so last session we discussed about servlets in the AEM. What is servlet and how many ways you can register the servlet? How many ways we can register the servlet? We can register the servlet. We can register the servlet. And there are two ways to register the servlet which we discussed about. So first one is path based servlet and second one is resource based servlet. Okay, and how we can write the program on servlet, these all the things which we discussed in the last session. Okay, so once we are completed with the servlets, next we can go ahead. Today topic is schedulers. Schedulers which are used to execute the piece of code. What is the definition for the scheduler? Schedulers which are used to execute the code repeatedly, which are used to execute the code repeatedly based on the based on the repeatedly or execute the code which are used to execute a piece of code at regular intervals. Execute the code at regular intervals. At regular intervals. Regular, I would say, at regular intervals. Regular intervals, where we have the cron expression. Where we have the cron expression. We can mention the time intervals which we wanted to be run a piece of code. We can mention the time intervals which we wanted to be run a piece of code and we can override the runnable interface. We can override the we can implement runnable interface. We can implement runnable interface and we can override the run method to execute a piece of code a piece of code at regular intervals okay, we can deploy the bundle and then we can start using the schedule. Regular intervals, we can deploy the bundle and then we can start using the scheduler. We can start using the scheduler. So this is the definition of the scheduler, guys. Scheduler which are used to execute the code at regular intervals where we have the foreign expression. We can mention the time intervals which we wanted to be run a piece of code, and we can implement the runnable interface, and we can override the run method to execute a piece of code at regular intervals. We can deploy the bundle, and then we can start using the scheduler. So generally, where you can use the schedulers generally, for example, there is a website you can take. This is the something I say Amazon website or anything. So at the time of off time and all. So some products they will give like this product will be expire within 5 hours. Okay, and this product will be coming to the live after 12 p.m. So like that, we will give the timings whenever you want to close the product and whenever you want to publish into the live, we will give the time intervals. So how we can give the time intervals in the schedulers? So there we have cron expression. How we can generate the cron expression? So there is a cron maker. Look for the cron maker. Cron maker. If you go to the cron maker, there are number of websites will be available to make the cron expression. So I am going with any one of them. Cron expression generator. So if I go with this one, so see here. So it will be having stars. First star meaning. So if you declare the cron expression, which means whatever the piece of code, it will be execute for every minute. If you mention the code cron expression like this, which means the piece of code it will be execute for every hour. If you mention like this, that will be execute for every at a 12 a.m. So like this every Friday and whenever you want. So basically, what is the meaning of each star? First star meaning, so it will be minutes from 0 to 59. And if you mention second star meaning hours, 0 to 23 hours. And there is a third star meaning day after the month. There are 31 days, and which day you are currently, that is day of the month. Next star. Next star is month. There are 12 months, 1 to 12. Next one thing is there is a star that is day of the week. There are total 6 days, so you should be mentioned like this. So I hope uh, you guys have the clarity on. So if you mention the cron expression like this, so then which means whatever the piece of code which we written, that will be execute for every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds. So this is the meaning of each star. Minute, hours, and I would say day, day of the month, and day of the week. Day of the week. Minute, hour, day of the month, and day of the week. And day of the week. Okay, fine. Now, in the scheduler, what actually we can do? For example, if I want to publish the iPhone 16, from 3 days, like coming days, today is 3, right? Like I want to publish, I want to release this iPhone 16 Pro again into the live 10, 11, 12. So because of some issues, I want to change the values, meaning I want to change the release date. So how we can change without touching the code? You can change by using OEG configurations. So in the schedulers also, we can do the OEG configurations. Scheduler in schedulers also, we can use the OEG configurations, and through that we can take the dynamic values. When once we can take the values, and then through that we can run the schedulers. Okay. So scheduler definition is okay. Next question is how many ways we can implement the how many ways we can create the scheduler. We can create the scheduler. How many ways we can create the scheduler? There are two ways to create the scheduler, guys. What are the two ways? First one is the whiteboard pattern. Second one is using scheduler API. This whiteboard pattern is the traditional approach. Nowadays, nobody is not using whiteboard pattern. And nowadays everybody is using the scheduler API, using scheduler API, and then can create the scheduler. So I am also going with scheduler API. Okay, scheduler API. Okay, fine. Now second approach, I am going with the scheduler API by creating the scheduler. Okay, next question they will ask, how we can implement scheduler, how we can implement scheduler. So here next one more point here also, scheduler is also one service, scheduler is also one service, guys. Scheduler is also one service. Scheduler is also what? One service. Scheduler is also one service. Next question is, how you can implement the scheduler. How you can implement the scheduler. What are the points you have to consider? So first, a normal Java class. Scheduler is nothing but normal Java class. For example, here I would like to take article. This is normal Java class. This normal Java class I need to convert. So I can mention at the rate component, and the scheduler is also on service, right? Yes. Then you have to mention service equal to runnable dot class, and here also if you want to execute a piece of code, then there is a multi-threading concept you have. So runnable interface, this is the answer you have to put. So in the interview perspective, they will ask, the question is how we can implement the scheduler. Then you can tell me, take normal Java class, convert into component, and convert into service. So this is the implementation. Are you guys clear with my statements, what I'm saying? How we can implement the scheduler? Java class, component, and service implements runnable interface. Implement runnable interface. Implement runnable interface. So here, instead of taking values are hard coded, I can take the values from OJ configurations. OJ configurations. So there are two classes I will take. One is the article expiry implementation is the one class, and the next one is article expiry configuration is the one class I can take. And there itself I can take the values dynamically, and that values I can write a program, and then I can write the scheduler. This is the thing I will do. I hope you guys are clear, right? I am going to the program code base. You have to open your AIM instance as well parallel. So in my case, I would like to open my AIM instance as well. In your case also, you can able to open your AIM instance. So I would go to my IDE, and then I can start creating the scheduler. So where I would go my scheduler. You can open the folder, go to desktop, June batch, select the June batch, and go to core. Inside the core, there is a scheduler folder. Okay, there is a scheduler folder. So in this scheduler folder, you can create the Java class, go to and then take Java class, mention the Java class name is article expiry implementation. Article expiry implementation. Guys, simply what I am doing here, where is my notepad? This is the reason I can take the values dynamically by using OEG configurations. One OEG configuration. So here I can take the values from here to here. I can take the values from here to here. I can make the connection, and through that I can take the values dynamically. Same program I am writing here. Okay, don't confuse. Don't confuse. Article expiry implementation, and this is a normal Java class, right? And if you want to execute a piece of code multiple times, you have to use multi-threading, that is implements runnable interface. Runnable interface implements .lang package. Okay, and to override the method, this normal Java class into the service, first you can declare with the component @component. It will give the sessions @component. Next, service equal to runnable.class. Runnable dot class. Okay, next emulate equal to true and enable equal to. This is clear? No, this is the skeleton for the scheduler. They will ask in the interview perspective how you can implement the scheduler. You can tell the answer Java class implements runnable interface @component service equal to runnable dot class. If you tell that is the answer, then they will understand. Okay, fine, you already worked on that scheduler concept. Okay, runnable interface. Okay, fine. Now I want to read the values from the dynamically. So if I want to read the values dynamically, one more class for dynamic values. So simply I can go with the schedulers folder. Again, right click. There is a create Java file. Go to annotations class. Okay, and mention article expiry configurations. Article expiry configurations. This class name you can give anything. So in my case, I am giving article expiry configurations, and now this is the class which I want to read the values dynamically. Okay, so inside I am taking the properties scheduler name, scheduler name. So this all I am taking as a lowercase scheduler name. Okay, fine. Next one is public string. Next I would like to take scheduler expressions, scheduler expression. Okay, next I would like to take public string, scheduler concurrent, scheduler enabled. These are the properties I am taking. Scheduler enabled. Next we have public string, scheduler concurrent. Concurrent. Same thing. How we done with the configurations? Same I am doing the OEG configurations. Okay, but here I am changing the properties. I'm changing the properties. These properties I want to make as the dynamically, that we can do by using annotations called attribute definition. Attribute definition. Okay, so simply here I am adding the properties. Whatever the properties we added there, same properties I am adding here. First one is the name. Okay, so here I am mentioning the scheduler name. Scheduler name is, you can mention scheduler name. For example, in my case I am mentioning scheduler name is iPhone 16. Okay, and the scheduler description, all the properties you can mention here. Next one is the scheduler description. I can mention some description about iPhone 16, and next description type equal to attribute type, attribute type, name, description. You can take default value. Default value I am taking as iPhone 16. iPhone 16. Okay, these are the properties: name, description, and default value. So with respect to remaining all other properties also can take same way. Here this is the scheduler expression, right? So simply here I am mentioning scheduler expression. Scheduler expression, and here also I am mentioning about expression, and here also I am mentioning default value. So default value you can take as like this. So there is one predefined class they provided to us, that is simple scheduler task. This is the sample program they given to us, and I am going to that sample program. So see here the default value how they take it. So the same default value in my case also I am using. So copy that default value, and I am going to my program. My program name is article expiry. This one, right? Cron expression. So here I can take the default values. Default value, and then here I no need, I am removing here itself. Here itself, okay. Default value also okay. Next attribute definition also I am doing the same thing. And here also default value is by default this will be true. By default this will be true. If that is true, then here you can mention boolean value. Okay. Next this one concurrent. Concurrent also can do the same thing. Change the values here. Expression into enabled, and here also mention about scheduler enabled. Okay, so here also can change to scheduler concurrent, and here also can change to about the scheduler concurrent. Okay, these are the values. I hope you guys are clear. So simply what I am doing, these are the values, these are the four properties I need. What are the four properties? Scheduler name, scheduler expression, and a scheduler enabled, and a scheduler concurrent. These four properties I need. So instead of taking hard coding, I am taking the values dynamically. So if you want to take the values dynamically in AEM, what are the concepts you have? That is OIJ configuration. So that already we discussed in the last before session, right? Yesterday before session. Okay, I am using the same concept, that is OIJ configurations. So through that I am reading the values, and then so this class I can implement in my article expiry implementation. There are two ways to create the scheduler, I said, right? And here also I am using the creating the scheduler mentioning at the rate reference annotation. At the rate reference annotation is the which is used to call one service into the another service. Scheduler is the one service, and there is a scheduler API that is also one predefined service which is already implemented. So simply I am using that one scheduler. When you look for the scheduler, it will give the many sessions. From that you can import this one Apache Sling Common Scheduler. You have to import this one scheduler, and you can mention variable name anything. You can mention variable name anything. Okay. Okay, fine. So after this one, so here whatever the piece of code you want to run multiple times based on the cron expression, that you can mention here. So for that I need to create one logger file. Already you know the syntax for the logger file. Private static final and logger factory logger. You have to import SLA4j only because AEM is integrated with SLA4j, and log equal to logger factory dot get logger. This is already the syntax, you know, right? Logger factory dot get logger, and you have to give the class name. I am copying this one and I am giving the class name. I am giving the class name. Okay. Expiry impl dot class. So this is the class name. Scheduler is okay, and run method is also okay. And after this you have to take methods like activate, deactivate, that will be there, right? Annotations. So I am taking activate, and this I can annotate with at the rate activate. This is taken as action. This is no need. Now you can take activate, and same way you can do public void deactivate, and this is the scope of deactivate. Here also you can mention with deactivate, and here also you can take with same whatever we did with the OEJ configuration, same thing I am doing here. Public void something update. This is the method, and this you can annotate with the at the rate modified, at the rate modified. Okay, and also one more method I am taking, public void update configurations. Update article configuration is the method name I am taking. Update article configuration, this is the method name I am taking. So in this method whatever the this class is which I am using for taking the values dynamically, right? So here I can read all the values dynamically, so that this class I can make it as one object. That object I will pass as a parameter to this method. So what the methods will do? Methods will do the actions based on the input. I am giving the input. Whatever input I am giving, how I am giving, this is the class where I can read all the values dynamically. Whatever the values I am taking using this class, I am passing as a input to this method. Input to this method. That is called parameters. Parameters meaning parameters are the variables which contains the values that we can pass to the method. Okay, that we can pass to the method to perform some operation. Here also I am doing the same thing. So this entire class, what is the class name? Article expiry config, and that I am passing as a object to the input to the method. Article expiry, and this is This is data type, and this is the variable, and this is the variable. So I am passing input to the method. Now you can write the logic. You can write the logic. So inside the curly braces, what I am doing, there is a scheduler API, right? Yeah, I am creating the scheduler by using this scheduler API. I am copying this one, okay, and then I am coming to here. This scheduler API has, there are uh, many predefined methods, that is expressions. If you want to know the purpose of each method and all, there is a one blog also. The blog also I will share with you. Schedulers, Imran Khan. You can go ahead with this blog. You will have the some information about the scheduler as well. Normally, you can look for the scheduler by Imran Khan. You can get one blog. So you can go with from top to bottom. You can get the some. You can get the some information about the scheduler. What we are discussing, same thing also there. Cron expression. For this cron expression, I am passing as a again this input. Scheduler dot expression. This one only. And for this, we need to mention this one as a scheduler options dot. We can take scheduler case also. We take in the scheduler name, scheduler expression, enable the scheduler, concurrent scheduler meaning no two same threads not run at a same time. So when you run the scheduler, only one scheduler will be run at a time. No two same threads will not run at a time. So that we can mention here. Enable, this is the when you enable the scheduler, then only the scheduler will start. So by default, it will be the true. Next, this is normally some other extra property. Okay, same properties we taken. And next, this is the implementation class. They taken class name like this and a runnable interface, and they use the scheduler API. This is the scheduler API, scheduler and scheduler activate. For that activate method, the configuration class they passed into that, and after this is the scheduler. For that they passed as the input. So here you can see here scheduler dot expressions. Yeah, this is the thing. The same logic we are also in our case also we are implementing. See here, scheduler is the API. Okay, so that actually where it is coming, which is already we have the predefined API. So that predefined API we injected using at the rate reference. This is already predefined one. If you want to run the scheduler, you need to inject, you need to use predefined scheduler as well. So how could I would say, how could I use that predefined one? There is a annotation that is called at the rate reference. I am using the at the rate reference, and I am using the predefined scheduler. This is the predefined scheduler API. This is a predefined class. Okay. And from that predefined class contain number of methods, right? How could you access all the predefined methods and all? So here how they implemented program, come to here, scheduler dot expression. This is the method which is coming from this scheduler API. This is scheduler class. Okay. And for this method we are passing as an input, that is our scheduler expression we are passing as the input. The same thing you can come to here, and scheduler as of now, this scheduler word is coming from where? This one. This is what? This is predefined one. Okay, Adobe team they provided for us, that is predefined scheduler API, also called as class. And if you want to write the scheduler, you should use predefined one. So this is the same scheduler what I am copying and I am mentioning here. Okay, this is clear. This is predefined one. This predefined class have many methods. From that, these all the many methods which are available in this scheduler class. Okay, so from that, there are number of methods which are available in that scheduler class. So from among those all the methods, as of now, my requirement is I want to take expressions method. I'm taking expression method. This is the expression method. Okay, fine. For this expression method, again I am passing as a input. That input is this object I am passing as a input. Article expiry config, and that I am passing here, and I am mentioning scheduler expression. Scheduler expression, right? This again entire statement, can I reuse anywhere in the program? Directly, you cannot directly reuse. That is the reason. Enter all the information. This contain there is lot of information, meaning whatever the expression dynamically we are giving, that information it will be having. So that information we cannot directly reuse like this. That is the reason I am mentioning one reference variable. This is reference variable. You can give any other name as well. This is the reference variable, and this reference variable data type is the scheduler options. Schedule options. So this is the meaning of first statement, guys. So what I did actually, again I will tell you. This is coming from predefined. Okay, this is coming from predefined. I injected a scheduler class by using at the rate reference. By using at the rate reference. Okay, fine. And this is what method. This is coming from where? This class. This is coming from that class. For this method, I am passing as a input. Which input I am passing? Whatever the values dynamically I am taking, that values I am passing as a input to this expression method. Okay, so that's it I did, and then simply the entire whatever the values I am taking, that I am keeping inside one variable. That variable data type is the scheduler options. That's it. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. So after this I want to start my scheduler based on the scheduler name and all. So simply you can mention options dot scheduler name, scheduler name and all, options dot name. So here also you can pass the scheduler name config directly. This is the method, and for that method you can pass the scheduler name, and concurrently also we can do the same thing. Copy this object name, copy, and you can give the object here, and you can pass the scheduler name. Okay, same way this is with respect to options. which I would say name. We can do with respect to options dot concurrently also schedule enabled. Awesome. Okay, three things done. And the next, hmm, next you want to start the scheduler. So see here, add the scheduler to call depending on the option based. Then there is a method that is coming from scheduler predefined class. The method name is schedule. So simply what you can write that method as well. That is, I would say, scheduler dot schedule. Here you can mention this dot options. This dot options, comma. This will represent current class object. Current class object. Okay. Okay, fine. Now here I am using directly this logger here, and simply I am mentioning directly the logger here. Here also, instead of this one, I would mention this article config. Okay, here you can mention log method. You can mention either error or info method. Any method is okay. So I can go with the info method dot info method. That's it. Okay. There is coming some error that you can close with. Now that's okay. Schedule options. Okay. These all this scheduler will be triggered when the scheduler should be enabled. So if you want to give that one, take cut from these all the statements you can keep inside the if block. Which block? If block. I'm taking this all the stuff and then I can keep inside the if block. This is the scope of the if block. I'm keeping inside the block if block. And inside the if block I can mention true. There is a if block config dot enable scheduler, meaning article expiry this and coming to here if block and mention dot scheduler enabled. If it is the true, then only our scheduler will start execute. And if it is not false, then you can mention else. Else you can mention some statement. You can unschedule the scheduler. So this is the simple scheduler they implemented. Okay, so same concept we are also using, and same thing we are also doing the creating the scheduler and doing the deployment. Okay. Yeah. Now this scheduler can pass this class in our update class. Copy this class method, go to here, and then you can pass. And here also can mention you can pass these all the stuff in I would say activate, deactivate, and modify as well. Okay, and here also can mention C, and then you can mention this one. and this you can pass in deactivate and update as well. Update as well. Are you guys clear with my statements? What I did? You can save this program and scheduler logger run method. So here I want to write the message. What kind of message? Whatever the, so I'm writing the message that is full message I'm writing. Rani is a good girl. So this is the message I want to run according to cron expression. I'm saving this one. Yeah. So finally my requirement is, if I give the to execute my code for every minute, this message will be print for every minute. If I give for every hour, the same, this message will be print for every hour. So like that, that is my requirement. Okay. So here the thing is, main thing is cron expression. Cron expression is the main thing. Again, I would like to go to the cron expression. Cron expression is the main thing. This cron expression you can check with other cron expression is very important. So I check with other thing as well, where actually core src next main, there is a java com adobe AEM gets demo code, and there is a schedulers. Mm, article expiry scheduler dot java. Open this one, go down. There is a cron expression will be there or not there, you can check. Component is false. This is also default value is false. Scheduler expression will be there. That scheduler expression is very important. If scheduler expression you will be mentioned the wrong way, that your scheduler will not run. Your scheduler will not run. So scheduler expression is very important. So if you want to know expression and all, they given already predefined one, right? You can go with the predefined one and then you can cross it with the predefined. This is the predefined one, right? This is in that where actually my parent parameter and component, and this is the scheduler they given, right? You can copy this one and go to your program, and instead of same thing, instead of 30 you can give some 3. Okay, I can run this one. Okay, now I need to deploy. We can deploy and then we'll see wherever my project will be there. I am opening my code base and then I can do the deployment. So maven clean install -p auto install single package. We'll see. So after deployment, you can create the logger file and then in that logger file, you can check like the message is coming or not based on the product. If it is coming, then that's it. If not coming, you have to cross verify where you made the mistake and all. You have to verify the entire code. So this is the thing you have to do. Okay. So in my case, it is success, and then now I need to go my AEM console, and then I need to give the prawn expressions. Oh, here we made. We need to give the connections also, right? Here this is normal interface. This you need to make it as object class definition, and here also you can pass the name attribute, that is the class name, article expiry dot config. This I am connecting, and save this one. And you need to establish the connection between these two classes by using @designate @designate. If I go @designate OCD equal to class name article expiry. So this is the connection you have to give. Okay. So once the connection is completed, now again you can do the deployment. Now go to your AEM instance, open console. Mention logger name is scheduler. I'm mentioning some sc.log. You can mention in our case also your wish. Com adobe dot, or I am copying the path dot. After the core, we have the scheduler. This is the class we have to implement it. And then save. Logger got created. You can open now logger. Go to AEM author instance. Open quick start and go to This is sc dot log. This you can open. So initially you will not be uh, print anything. You have to start the scheduler. So Rani is a good girl. Rani is a good girl. The scheduler is starting by default because we given the boolean as true, where actually in our program we given boolean as true. So that is the reason every 3 seconds, see here, Rani is a good girl or not? Yes, it is printing every 3 seconds. It is printing every 3 seconds because of by default we given. If I open my program article configurations, so here I defaultly I given as true. I given as true. So that is the reason when the deployment completed, the bundle, my bundle, I would say my scheduler started its execution. Its execution. So if you want to stop the bundle, this you can mention as the false, and then you can deploy, or in the OEG configuration also you can mention as the false. So this is all about the scheduler, guys. So your requirement is when you deploy your bundle and your logger, it should be based on the cron expression. It has to display the messages. This is the thing you have to do. Okay, so if I open this one, it will be continuously, it will print. Until I stop the scheduler, it will be continuously, it will be printing. So this is all about scheduler, guys. I hope everybody is clear. You guys also do the same.